So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
I'm Ace.
And I'm Jeff, and we are in the early November.
And we're going to ask some questions to say about the upcoming album 20. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
Great. It's been a really positive, great response to everything that we've done regarding the 20-year thing. It was, it's always crazy because you go into it, you're like, it's been 20 years, it's been a long time. You know, is everybody still with us? And it's been really overwhelming how awesome and positive it is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I hate to give the cliche question of like, it's been 20 years of your band, but like, have you guys been reflecting at all now that you've hit the 20-year mark?
Most definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of, you get nostalgic by nature, but when you hit a milestone like this, there's no way that you can't kind of look back with all the things that are happening and appreciate. And, with everything that you can look at the good and the bad, a milestone like this, you focus on all the good stuff. And it's a very, very cool thing to just experience and be lucky enough to celebrate.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. So is there any meaning behind the album cover art?
Yes. It started as like a joke. Joe, our manager who was in the band, he's a guitar player. He's, has been with us for the past 20 years, but now he's on the management side. It started as like a funny, like our theme has always been like, we have this really cool thing, but it's sort of like, the cake and the thing represents like the 20-year celebration, but it's all smashed and like beaten and everything's like cheesy looking, just because it's like our sense of humor to be like, something weird always happens to us, or it's there's always like something attached to whatever it is that we do in a really funny, awesome way, I think, that we take it at this point.
Mhm.
But like we use our first Warped Tour, for instance. Like we did Warped Tour, it was awesome. We're on the drive-through stage and we flipped a van and wrecked it and got another van stolen. So it was like,
Wow.
you get this awesome thing, but at the same time it's like you don't know what you're what it actually feels like inside to be like, well, all our gear got wrecked twice on that tour. So the album cover sort of represents like it's this awesome thing, but it's also got that comical like, but the cake is destroyed and nobody's here celebrating. So it's a really like cool, just funny look at how we do it all. Plus we have all our like, Jeff has been saving things since we started, so he's like got all of this cool memorabilia that you could find in the photos and whatnot, which is really awesome.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I think that's right, Jeff?
Very, very much so. It's basically like
Yes.
a retirement party
Yes.
for someone that everybody kind of forgot, which is kind of like, but not that sad. But it's
Yeah, not
But Ace said it. Ace said it perfectly. Our whole career, with all the great stuff that we've had, there's been the weirdest things to come along with it, like the most awkward moments attached to the great moments, and it's kind of become, in our small little family, it's our identity where we laugh about it and we think it's kind of comical. So that was a great way to kind of, an inside thing for us that we thought would work.
Hell yeah. So on the record, there's both new songs and there's B-sides. So for the new songs, can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for that? And the older songs, can you tell us what B-sides, like how you guys went about picking which B-sides made the cut for the album?
Ace, you want to take the new songs? I'll take the old songs.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking stuff for the old song, but I'll definitely do the new songs. What we basically, for the new songs that are on there, it's like I really wanted to touch on highlights that could like pull from places that we've been in our musical journey. Like we opened it with a song called Trees, which is an acoustic song, and we did that on The Room's Too Cold, and it's sort of been like our thing to always open with a song that doesn't not that it doesn't speak to the rest of the album, but it like sets up the rest of the album. So like In Currents had Stain on the Carpet, which is much more chill than the second song, and we sort of do the same thing on this, where it's like we have this really intimate feeling song called Trees that paints a picture of making it through these really weird times with the people that you love, and it goes straight into the sing along of make it happen. So it's like we tried to like touch back on things that were important to us about our career. And from a writing standpoint, like I tried to tie in and, just think about what made our albums, like gave them their identities and what our identity is and how people perceive that, and really try and tie all that together. So, we have a big rocker, Sand, which is like, it just smashes in, and a really fun, like Warped Tour style anthemic, like other song, which is the new song. I forget the title of it because it was like one of those last minute titles, but it's but they're like, we try to like just touch on all that stuff. So Jeff, now I'll turn it over to you.
Definitely. The dialogue song.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't remember the rest. I remember dialogues in there. Yeah, and as far as the old stuff goes, when we started this, we started off with the older stuff. So me and Ace kind of went into the studio, and like you said, I save everything. So I have a lot of the old recordings that we've done from the jump of the band. So we listened to everything and just kind of sat there and talked about it. And we tracked a bunch, and we figured out what works. And while we're tracking, we're kind of sculpting an album also, where we want to make a record that plays through, that works for today, but also has all the elements that make us who we are. And it's funny that as we're going through, we're realizing that like with each record, we left off one of the best songs that could have been on that record. So it's just such a funny thing to kind of go back and we make this album, and we're like, wow.
It's the greatest hits of songs that were never heard.
Yeah, wow.
Right.
This is something. Like I said earlier, that's us. It's just the little awkward, weird things that you look back on and you're like, oh man, that's on brand. So it's very, very cool.
You said that you went into the studio starting off with like the new songs. Was the plan originally to kind of have the album just be the older songs? Was the plan originally just to have like a bunch of old B-sides, and then the new songs kind of came as you guys started working, or was the plan always to have a mixture of both?
The plan from the jump was to have a mixture of both, to like because we knew we had to re-record everything. So being that we were doing that, we thought it was a great opportunity to really reconnect with those songs and reconnect as a band and as like, creators to that initial original spark that we felt like on all those records years ago. So the plan was like, I think from the beginning always to just like reach back into that, whatever you want to call it, reach back into that time and pull the energy out of it, and take it with us now.
Makes sense. All right.
For sure. So I want you to tell us your favorite lyric or moment off this album and what it means to you.
Wow. I actually have one. Normally I get lost in that question. But I'm going through the chorus in my head. I'll go first because it's on top of mine, Ace, you can think. In Over My Shoulder, it's a powerful song, one of my most favorite songs that we've ever done, but it resonates with where I'm at currently. That entire chorus really rings true to kind of, making sense at where you're at in your life, where we're at right now. There's the things that we thought about when we were younger, you don't think about anymore, and you think about big picture a lot more, and your life and these things. So that chorus specifically is very like real, but it's very hopeful at the same time. It's a matter of putting your mind and setting your mind and locking it on the right things to give you perspective, and this perspective that only comes with time, which is I feel like it's a really important song in our, I really love that one. That's mine.
All right.
That's great.
Do you want me to answer too?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do it then. Mine goes with the Sand. It's the opening line and it's also the chorus of the song, but it's just about being like knocked down repeatedly and continuing to go. And it doesn't paint a beautiful picture. It doesn't paint like a happy ending, but it does just paint the idea of, you're going to end up back in the sand. You're going to end up on the ground over and over again and just keep getting up. And I think that is sort of like the great, if you were to sum up what we say to people as a band. That is, you know, something that I always try and put out there, because it you know, it's important for me to let people know, and for people to know. It's like, you can have success or something that looks like success, but the real success is getting up and fighting for it every day, you know, and not getting tired of fighting for it. And that's what that is about. So that to me is my favorite.
Love that.
That's perfect.
Can you guys tell us where your headspace is at while you were writing this or creating this album?
Yeah. I think like Jeff could probably answer this question better. I'll just say really quick, like my headspace was like just trying to be as true and genuine to every moment as I possibly could be during the process, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, Jeff probably can answer that better than me.
It's a couple things. I mean, for me specifically, it was my head. I was very energetic and like revitalized doing this in a way where it was, and my head was specifically devoted to Early November fans. I mean, I keep going back to this fan service line, but like it was one of those things where we're like, wow, we got here. It's been 20 years and we know exactly why we're still kicking. And it's because of the people that, you know, have really supported us. So I feel like, personally, I feel very connected to what fans really want and like about us, you know, for something that's celebrating a 20-year. And I was so like energized by that, because I felt like we were really like, we hit the ground running with this, and it always felt good. I don't know if we got there, Ace. I mean, with every record we stop and go, but like for this record specifically, I don't remember there being like a really, really brutal time where we just got stuck. And maybe that's just for me. You know, Ace produced and did the record at his studio, so he had a lot more hands-on when it came to, you know, getting the record to where it needed to be. So maybe I'm only speaking for myself, but that it felt like it was just, we go and go and go, and it feels like it's perfect the whole time. Like that's how I felt.
Yeah. Did you feel that way as well?
I definitely had some of those moments of like really trying to wrap my head around it, like specifically for Trees. I think there was one song we were working on, and I remember being in the studio just like I couldn't get anything to like work out. It was like I was struggling conceptually, lyrically, like all over the place. And I remember walking down to the beach for like a minute, and then I like something clicked and I came back, and it just the first song just poured out of me. Like I didn't even basically have to write it. It was like one of those situations. And it was you know, I think there were elements to me while creating it that were you know, where you would hit a little wall like that and be like, is this genuine? Is this me? Is this us now? Does this make sense for where we are? Because when you're going into an album like this, you want it to sound, yes, very true to who you are, but at the same time, and who you were. But you also want it to show that you're not just looking at who you were, but you're looking at who you will become as well. And I was really, you know, I hit a wall a couple of times, just being like, well, who am I? I don't know, man. I'm this really technically advanced guy right now. I'm just kidding.
Practically robotic.
Yeah, I'm practically robotic. You know, you saw how easy it was for me to set up the Zoom link. So like, I think, you know, I hit it like a couple places like that, but you know, for the most part, it was smooth, and I think more importantly, it was enjoyable every single time. There was never a time where I was like, I don't want to be doing this right now. So it was very it was like, I look at all speed bumps like that as positive things, and we work through it, and it was, you know, it's good.
That's good.
This is like a very unique record to kind of work on. So did you guys kind of find it like an easier experience overall, or was it like more pressure than normal because of kind of what you guys were creating?
I feel like we could have very different answers for these types of things. You know, like
definitely. I feel like we will.
I mean, it goes different ways. You know, I think there's always an amount of pressure because we want to, I mean, as far as we're concerned, we don't want this band to end. We want this band to continue to be operational, but there's an element of like, you need certain things for that. So that pressure is always there. But for me specifically, where I'm at in life, you know, I try not to let that, like, for this record specifically, there was none for me. I'm gonna say there's no chance Ace has that answer. But how I went into, I mean, I play drums. You know, there's so much that, you know, I'm not writing lyrics here.
Yeah.
So, but that comes with where I'm at age. I understand, you know, like I just let go of that part because I can.
Mm-hmm.
But the band still needs to operate. You still need to be successful in a way for us to continue to make music. So Ace, I'll let you take it. But for me specifically, I just had nothing but enjoyment, which you know, is very difficult to do recording any record. But
yeah,
this was like that for me.
Awesome.
I love that, Jeff. I love that you got that, and that's like, you know, that's awesome. I really do love it. I wouldn't say that there was like on my end specific crazy pressure. There was definitely an element of I don't want to mess it up because, like Jeff said earlier, like I did do all the engineering, the production, and the mixing and the mastering, and all of the guitars and bass.
Which let me say,
vocals.
That was no easy feat. Like
No.
He hit that. We were going back and forth with mixing and mastering. He was sending me stuff, and he worked on that. So like,
yeah.
And I can see how at times that's crushing, but like that was a process and really got it to where it needed to be. Sorry to jump in there, but like that was a big thing.
Yeah, that was probably the most stressful moment of all of it, just because I wanted to do right by it. Like I really wanted to give it the justice that it deserved. And I think ultimately we found that, and like I still listen to it and I'm like, dude, this sounds really good. It's like loud and crisp, and I'm like, all right, well, you know, all that banging your head against the wall really worked out. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did.
Awesome. So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should they play it in the car with friends, talk with headphones on? Should they blast at a party, work out to it? What do you guys personally recommend?
All of the
above. Ooh.
Ooh.
We had the same exact answer
Yeah,
at the same
twins.
time.
Yeah, because I was listening very closely to what you were saying, and I was like, check, all of the above. I think I've done all of the above, honestly. No, I most definitely have. I've listened to the album 6 million times.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just, it works. It works around the clock, no matter how you do it.
As long as you're listening. Hell yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
So how did you guys listen to the record for the first time when you finally had like the masters, everything was complete, it was in order? Did you guys listen to it through headphones? We know a lot of people who listen through it like through the car system, stereo. What did you guys do?
I mean, Ace is, again, it's different. Like for me, I generally will listen on really good speakers at home first, or in a car. Now, my car system isn't as good as it used to be. So I don't really like the car system that I have, or the car that I have right now.
Fair enough.
It's very, sound is a big thing. Like, I mean, obviously for both of us, but like sonic, like I know what I like the levels of which. So I have a system at home that I listen to on first. And then after the fact, I'll go to headphones, but I always like to listen how most people will listen to a record first. Now, I guess that might be headphones, honestly, now, but that's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely went car. I was like, I listened to it in headphones so many times, like while mixing and mastering it, that I was like, I heard it in the car. Once we've approved everything, I listened to it one last time, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I love it. Worked out great.
Hell yeah. All right.
Perfect.
So this question should be super, super quick. Off the top of your head, I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less. Both of you have to do it.
Ooh. Man, 3 words. Okay. Let me say 3 words.
5. I'm trying to shorten 5 words.
5.
It's a sentence, kind of.
Dude, you go first then, because I don't have any words.
We can hyphen them for you.
Yeah, you
Right,
can. You can shorten this. Everything you love about 10. It's everything, every element that you love about our band, put into one record. I think
Okay.
all the elements that make people fans of this band are in there for sure.
Nice. I'm gonna go super simple and use just like, I think it's pretty fun for us at least. So I'll say fun as one word.
Okay.
Second word will be I would usually say like sad, but I really don't feel like it's sad. I feel like fun, thinky, and
Love that word.
Thinky.
nostalgic.
Love
Yeah.
that word. Thinky.
Thinky.
Sick. Yo, we
You
have to
don't
put
use
that on.
thinky every day?
We have to put that on a shirt for tour.
You do.
Fun,
Please.
thinky, nostalgic.
Oh
Fun,
my
thinky,
God.
nostalgic, baby.
There you
Oh
go.
my God.
New merch
I'd buy
design.
20. Yeah.
By 20.
So is there a certain feeling or emotion you want this album to invoke in your listeners?
Just
Um,
hit it.
You hit it, Jeff. You got it, brother.
Well, I think you just said it. It definitely hits a nostalgic tone,
sure.
but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's nostalgic, but it's also new. So it's kind of a bridge, you know. It's a bridge between everything that we've done through our career and moving forward, which is very exciting to be able to say that in an album. You know, it's kind of what you generally want out of an album. You want to make an album that you want listeners to want to come back for more. But because it's that 20-year mark, you get that past in there that drives it to the future, which is weird to say unless you listen to the record and really take it in. But I think that's what it does.
Oh yeah. Anything to add, Ace?
I think he did a good job.
Okay. All right. Good job, Jeff. So what is your favorite memory that you guys made while creating this album?
Whew. Favorite memory.
You
You
But you go.
got 'em.
You go first because I want you to hit it first. I want to see what you say.
Yeah. Okay. I think my favorite memories of the album would be that very first day when we listened to like 30 songs that we like dug up from, you know, iPhone demos and like recordings that we had in random places, and just going through everything and being like, wow, I forgot that existed, like, in just sort of repaving, if you will, the journey in my mind that we've been on, because it's taken so many different turns and we've done so many different things in the past 20 something years that it's like, you know, like reattaching ourselves to that whole road was really cool. I think that's probably my favorite memory of it for sure.
That's why I wanted you to go first, because I wanted to see if your memory was my memory, and it was. That's exactly what it was.
Oh.
Getting to go through all of that, and as we listen to all these songs, we're remembering who we were. You know, we're going back and we're putting ourselves in the places, and we're talking about it. You know, oh, remember when this happened? And those songs, like the best songs that you hear that impact you through your life, they put you in a place. So all we're doing is time traveling. Through 30 songs, we're time traveling to where we were and talking about it. And it's a beautiful thing when you look back at that. That was definitely one of the coolest things doing this.
Hell yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Perfect. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
Oof. Young me would have went straight for like the combos and a beef jerky, but old me would probably go for first I'd see how sketchy the hard-boiled eggs looked, and then I'd probably grab one of those.
Gas station hard-boiled eggs.
Look, you
They're
got
always
you got to do what
sketchy.
you got.
No.
I feel.
Mm-mm.
I'm not talking out of the jar that are pickled. I'm not saying that one.
No. See,
Fucking
I'd rather
packaged.
take the pickled one. The packaged ones are just, I can't.
Done pissed, Gloria. She's mad as hell at you right now.
Nah.
Look, I feel, trust me, I'm not happy with this, Troy. I'm not happy with this either. But I have done, this is what I have done before. When everybody's like at the end of the show, they're going to like, there's a Taco Bell connected to a gas station. They're like, yeah, let's do it. It's like midnight. And I'm like, look, I will have heartburn and not be able to sleep, and I will be all messed up tomorrow. So I get like a thing of like turkey lunch meat. I'm like, this is what I'm going to eat for dinner, just slices of turkey.
That's
so
honestly better than Taco Bell.
Hey,
yeah, I'll do stuff like that.
Fair enough.
That's valid. You got me. You scared me a little bit with that. I'm sorry.
Look, maybe you just need to try it. You know, next time you're at a gas station, just go grab a hard-boiled egg.
On your way to My Chem tomorrow, Gloria, you can try one.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I'd like to actually see My Chem and not be stuck in the gas station bathroom for the next,
You're going to hear My Chem.
Just get a bunch for your friends and show up to My Chem and be like, I brought the eggs.
Guys, I got the snacks covered. Don't worry. There's no
you guys
trail mix, like cashews, but the egg. I'm sorry.
Egg.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna...
think about it. Think about like it's cashews. I mean, it's a lot of like, they're great. I love them, but an egg is just straight like easy protein. No, it doesn't weigh you down. I don't get a ton of heartburn from that. Cashews are always loaded with salt or honey or like whatever all over them. And yeah, look, hey, I know how it looks. I'm not trying to defend it, okay? But tomorrow when you show up to My Chem, I'm telling you, you go in that green room. If you make your way to My Chem's green room, I bet it's littered with hard-boiled eggs.
Oh yeah,
hard-boiled egg wrappers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a rider must.
How many hard-boiled eggs Gerard Way has in a day is how goofy he gets for this show.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a well-known secret within the touring community. You always get the hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, definitely.
Jeff, I hope you're not eating hard-boiled eggs too.
Please, God, no.
I mean, I do enjoy it. I've done twisted stuff. I mean, but and I would enjoy. I'm with Ace on this. I would enjoy that very much. So I don't care. I don't care where things come from. But I mean, my younger years, I was a garbage can. Honestly, up until like a couple months ago, I was a garbage can. So I would eat any snack, but my snack of choice would probably be like Cheez-Its because that's my greatest of all time. But now, because we're older and I have bad cholesterol, I got to get myself like a bag of mixed nuts or something. That's what I'm going to have to go with because I got to take care of myself.
Fair enough.
Be eating very differently on this tour.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Much different.
So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
I like these questions a lot.
Thank you.
Jeff, I feel like you're better with this. You're better with food than I am. I'm going to say a hard-boiled egg because nobody wants to buy a packaged hard-boiled egg.
That's pretty good. All right. So one of the things that I don't have a specific dish, but I can kind of describe one, and then maybe one will pop into your head. But generally, I always thought the cool thing about our band, if we're talking like our core members, we were all completely different people with completely different interests, whether it be music, personal life. We all have these different things, but we all connected in a way and filled each other's gaps. And I think that's a really cool thing about bands in general, about how any band comes together and creates great art. So I would say if you're going to take those elements of being a band for this one, some kind of dish that has like 5 completely different ingredients that come together to make a fantastic meal. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like a Hungry Man microwavable.
It's a plate of we're nachos, man. We're supreme nachos.
There you go. We're nachos. We're nachos. Absolutely. Love it.
Got avocado on there. You got your salsa. You got
some jalapenos.
Choice. Yeah.
And on the side, a nice hard-boiled egg from the gas station.
Oh yeah. You
avoid the chips.
You get the hard-boiled egg and you dip it in some milk and you slam that and then you go back to the nachos.
God,
you want to get wild if you really want to get down. That's I've never done that. That's me joking.
That's
but
the only. That's
that'd
the
be
only way.
wild.
The only way to go. You guys are scaring me. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. This is a little worrying. But for these last couple questions, we're actually gonna shift away from music if that's okay with you guys.
Totally.
Sure.
Awesome. So we're actually gonna go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh,
Whoa.
that's so dark.
So dark. So dark.
Last
Um,
meal with a
mhm.
drink. Oh man. Well, it's pretty simple for me. I'm gonna go with either a shit ton of buffalo wings with
Yeah.
extra blooch. Drink. I mean, that's the difference with drink for me, or like a cheesesteak from Pat's
Ooh,
in South
cheesesteak.
Philly, like
Mhm.
with extra whiz, by the way.
Oh,
But
of course.
for a drink, I'm not really a big drink guy. I always get water with whatever I have, and I can't drink booze, with my meal because I don't pair them. They don't pair to me. They pair to a lot of people. So I would say that and a Jameson. If I'm going out, I want to tie a little bit of one on. So
Yeah.
a lot of Jameson.
All right.
Perfect.
Sweet. Do we know what kind of? I mean, I hate to say this, but do you know how this is happening? How we
Lethal
are?
injection.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
We'll do it
'Cause I
the
was gonna
humane
say, like-
way if there is one.
Right. Like I think that's that's an important piece of it. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
in that case, then I think I would just tie it down to my I would get as the drink. I'm not like a wine drinker. I'm more of a Jameson guy, but I think I would get a big old plate of rigatoni
Ooh.
and meatballs, and then a big old glass of wine, and try and feel like the olden Italian days,
Take you back to the old country.
the old country,
Oh my God. Yeah.
That's a classy way to go out.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
Yeah.
and a great pairing, by the way. My
Right.
pairing wouldn't be great. That would be like, whoa, why am I doing the two of these things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Did you say fiction?
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Jeff, go ahead, buddy.
Oh man, I fictional world?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is really, really tough. Imagination. Have you guys seen that South Park episode, Imagination Land?
Yes. I have.
That's filled with all my favorite things, all my favorite characters. I mean, you got everything from like Luke Skywalker to like superheroes and Jesus. Like they have everything. I'm going with Imagination Land. Everything that my heart desires is in Imagination Land.
That's a great answer.
That's a
Man.
perfect answer. Yeah.
That is great. Good job, man. That's
Thanks.
I think that I would, I as much as I want to like do a bunch of cool stuff, because I feel like there's so many times that I've probably daydreamed about this exact thing. But I think, as boring as it would be, I think I would go to I would chill with some like hobbits and just be
Mm.
like, what's life like here? I want to
so cool.
Mhm.
I want to just chill with Frodo a little bit, see what's really good.
That's
That's a good answer.
that's old school, dude.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Very,
think
very
that's
nice.
where I'd be happy.
Side note, Ace is
Yeah,
the one that
so
got me
chill and
into Lord of the
relaxing.
Rings.
Nice.
Hmm.
You used to watch Lord of the Rings with Joe all the time in the early
Yeah.
days, and I was like, "What are you guys watching?" And you sat me down and you were like, "Listen, if you will give it a shot, I will get you into it." I'm like, "All right, what's up with it?" And you sat me down and like forced me through some stuff and talked me through it to the point where when Return of the King came out, we went and saw it opening night, and I was in.
Oh.
I was like,
Yeah.
let's go. So I went from straight up making fun of Lord of the Rings to like #1 fan, all due to Ace's brainwashing, which is sometimes you need it. Sometimes
Yeah.
you need it on certain things.
We'd
which is
love to
very-
see some character development.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I went from villain to hero on that
Oh, for sure.
one.
So I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question.
Mm.
What is your favorite color?
Red.
Oh, black.
That's a good color. Oh, good shade.
Black goes with everything.
It does.
You know, I used to be blue when I was a kid, but I'm not a child anymore.
Oh,
You're all grown up
I'm not a
now.
child. I'm a grown ass. I'm a grown ass man with some experience. Black is the greatest color. Everything I'm looking at is black right now.
except your bed and the
And
pillow.
My
Everything that you can
I said,
see.
I'm looking this way. You guys are
okay.
looking that way.
My bad. My bad.
I'm looking at shit like this and this. And like shit like a
How many
speaker.
fucking cups do you have on your desk, bro?
Right.
Well, it's cold brew and water, and I just bam, 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 bam. So I'm like podcast.
So as Glaze said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
Our album and tour.
Yeah. There you go.
All
That's
right.
the important stuff.
Yeah, we have our so 20. Our album comes out on October 14th. That's the full album, but there are singles that you can stream right now. One being "Make It Happen," another that's called "Denon," and they are everywhere. As far as our 20th anniversary tour, that is with us, I Can Make a Mess, and Vinny from the Movie Life playing Movie Life songs. Those tickets and VIP packages are on sale now, and it is going to be one hell of a show. We're putting together something really, really cool. Other than that, I don't know.
That's great. No, I mean you hit it all right there. That's what we're promoting. That's
Like the
it.
important stuff. That's what matters.
Perfect.
Well, thank you for staying. This guy's been the early November, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.